hacemos la traemos. Liderazgo justo porque nunca ha existido. Ambiciones tienen filos y es que cargan egoísmo. Humilde mi familia y mi círculo social. Saludos a DJ Benza, un camarada sin igual. También a DJ Lala haciendo ruido por mi casa.
Welcome back to the show. You are now watching Wake the Flok Up. You don't get to watch us very often, Lala. You get to listen to me, but you don't get to watch me very often. Live from Back to Basics. Live from Back to Basics 2024. And I'm sitting here with DJ Lala.
What up?
Who I've known for years now. Lala was on Wake the Flok Up, I think, like season 2.
Wow.
Okay. It's very long time ago. And since then, you've just skyrocketed out of the way where you don't even reply to my texts, which is fine. You know, I get you reach a status, you're like, a chubby Mexican bothering me. I don't want to talk to. No, I'm just kidding. No. You've always been super cool. Let's talk a little bit about those successes you have had, and you're continuing to have. Sugar Free.
DJing for Sugar Free was amazing. I DJed with him for maybe like 4 years, and it was a great experience. He taught me a lot about the industry. I learned a lot. It was great. He opened up the doors for me, you know, so I always have love for Sugar Free, and he supports me still to this day, and yeah, it's been really great.
Yeah, I bet.
Free, yeah. So shout outs to Sugar Free, Ted, all of them,
shout out to Sugar Free, legendary Sugar Free, of course. You one time when I had you the show, you told me that the thing you liked the least was the fact that you had to lug around all the tables and equipment all the time. Is that something you're still struggling with, or you think you got better?
No, I'm cool with that. What I don't like now is like being cold when I'm DJing. I hate that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't. It's just not fun for me. But yeah, that's it.
How often does that happen to you?
Not so often. Yeah. I prepare pretty good. I always have a sweater or something like that. So yeah.
You're coming back from Europe?
So right now I'm on a tour with R.A. the Rugged Man. I DJ for him, and we're doing the West Coast leg of his tour. So it's been great. Yeah.
Shout out to R.A. the Rugged Man, who was one of the first names that we crossed off on the Wake the Flok Up wish list, to be honest.
Okay, cool.
Real quick story, Lala. This is 100% true. And R.A. had us in his hotel room as he was packing to go to Russia. So he was going to Russia literally that night. He was leaving to the LAX, but he was such a cool guy. He's like, yeah, bro, go ahead. Come on, just sneak into the room. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. I remember that. And he's like packing a bag as he's talking. So that shows you what kind of guy he is, right? What kind of guy he is. What have you learned from R.A. the Rugged Man, you think?
A lot of hip-hop. A lot of hip-hop history. He is like a walking encyclopedia on hip-hop. He's been around for so long. I mean, he's kicked it with Biggie in the studio, you know, and like he's just amazing. He knows so many people and so much history, and it's awesome. Like I love learning, you know. He's always teaching me a lot. So, yeah.
So so R.A. has a legendary status of himself now, right? He earned that all the way there, right?
Yeah.
What do you think attributes to that? Just specifically in R.A., like what is it about him that?
I think he's one of the top lyricists of all time.
That's true.
And I think that I think hanging out with Biz Markie, he really like, I don't know if, I don't want to say that was the reason, but his shows are just on another level.
Right.
Like he knows how to really put together a show, and so, yeah, I think that's what really separates him, you know, And I mean, he just finished filming like a film too, so that's really creative of him. And yeah, he's amazing. He's a legend.
His showmanship is definitely there. His lyricism is very present.
Lyricism, his stage presence, even like when he puts together projects, you know, like he's adamant about just mixing it and making it sound really good. And yeah, it's really cool. I learned a lot from him too, you know.
Very cool. And this is something that I'm going to ask you respectfully, right? Okay. How do you feel, like being a female in a dominant element where females aren't, let's say, represented as well as other? And I'm talking about DJing, right? How do you overcome? Is that something you still think about at all?
No, not really. Sometimes it'll be kind of like most of the time it's really just, I don't really look at that stuff, you know, like I don't really see a difference, I guess, you know, in my own little bubble. And then sometimes it's like, you get like a hater here and there, and it's like, man, I'm just trying to do my best, you know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Like, so like, it could be a little like funny, you know, but it takes a long time to get me mad, so
it's funny because you're doing it. Because it's like, yeah, you can say what you want, to tweet whatever you want, but this is R.A. the Rugged Man. This is Sugar Free I'm sitting next to, right?
Yeah, you know, most of the time it'll be like after they see me perform, then they want to take a picture or something like that, you know, so I'm pretty chill, like, oh, all right, you know, let's do it or whatever, but yeah, for the most part, it's just really about your own mentality, really, you know, like I don't really try and focus on that, you know, but if it happens, I see it, I feel it, and just keep going, you know.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Don't let it bother me, you know.
What I tend to see happen in hip hop when in regards to females that are involved in one way or another is they go one of two ways. It's either over sexualized or they go the opposite, which is rough and rugged, right?
Yeah.
How do we maneuver that?
I love styling myself, you know what I mean? So like sometimes I mean, it just really depends on the vibe, but like I think it's cool to like be a woman as far as like, you know, showcase like being a woman, you know what I mean? And
femininity.
Yeah,
100%.
my femininity, you know. So I try my best to have like a balance because I like to break too, you know. So it's not like I can like, you know, like that's why I had to change right now and put some pants on, you know what I mean? Because it's like you can't break with a skirt or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a balance, you know. I really connect a lot with like the females, and it's always exciting when they come up to me and like, oh, I was wondering what kind of hair you were gonna put on today, or whatever, you know. And so like I think the B girl in me is like, I like the style a lot, you know. And then sometimes I just feel like chilling, so I'd be like, you know, kind of like a Leah style or like, you know, kind of tomboyish or whatever. So it just really depends. Yeah, you know, it just depends on the vibe. It depends on the day, you know.
No doubt. What have we learned being on tour so often, though?
You know what? I've learned a lot. My presence on stage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that I've gotten better at that, you know, I think. And I just want to keep getting better. Of course, there's always like room for improvement and everything. But I think my stage presence has gotten much better than when I started.
Okay.
And I think being on tour, I've learned that a lot, you know. I honestly did not like the whole microphone and, you know, rocking the crowd. But I've gotten much comfortable doing that.
Interesting.
And, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you wanted to remain kind of like in the background. You didn't
I that's what I wanted. But
and then you realized you
touring, I was like,
oh
no, I gotta hype the crowd somehow. And so I've gotten more comfortable with that. You know.
I understand that. That makes sense. If you could tell DJ Lala from, let's say, 10 years ago, any advice from future Lala, what would you tell her? Bitcoin. No.
I guess I would tell her. I guess I would tell her not to overthink things. You know. Yeah. I would just tell her to take it day by day and enjoy the time. You know, time is not forever, so I think that's what I would do. Yeah.
Enjoy the moments.
Enjoy the moment. Yeah.
It's so difficult to know what moment's gonna be a memory.
Yeah.
So then I try to live as many moments as possible as like in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, to enjoy this particular thing. Because who gets to do this, Lala? And I'm not trying to equate myself to you, but it's like, who gets to live off of hip hop? Who gets to genuinely nurture the culture that you know that we all are all contributing to actively? You know, very, very few people in the entire world get to have this kind of joy, you know?
Yeah.
So I try to like, this is a blessing to me, obviously. Look how much fun this is, you know. Look how this is. I just had Souls of Mischief on here. I just shook hands with DJ Revolution. Like, I had DJ Lala on my couch. Like, who gets to say that kind of stuff, you know? So I try to treat, especially when it comes to hip hop, every moment with like, hey, pay attention to this. Because when you're 90, you're going to be like, oh, man, I remember DJ Lala, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
Last question for you. When you, right now, when you were outside, you know, you're doing your thing, you're saying you out there with the public and stuff like that. When you're out on tour Is there something in American that you miss the most when you're overseas or something like that? Like
in America, my family and my loved ones. Yeah, I
sure.
think that's like the hardest thing when I go on tour. Yeah, I've missed out on a lot. It's fun, you know. I love what I do, and I'm not really sure how long I can. I mean, I don't know how long this is gonna last. You know, what if? I mean, you never know, you know. But as far as right now, like, it's going really great, and whatever God wants at this point, you know. And but when I do tour, like, I really miss my family and my loved ones. You know, I lose out on time with people that I really love, you know. And last year I was gone for like 8 months out of the year touring, you know. So that's a long time, you know. I get to miss birthdays and stuff. So it's kind of like a sacrifice, of course, you know. But that's what I miss the most.
Yeah, your family, your loved ones.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
loved ones, yeah.
DJ Lala is back to basics. What can we expect from DJ Lala here? And what about back to basics that made you want to contribute to it?
Back to basics is literally my family, you know. Like, I started off with Droops. He gave me the opportunity for my first underground show at Malone's, and you know, shout outs to Out the House, shout outs to Back to Basics. Yeah, it's always like a family reunion, you know. They've seen me grown since I started, and every year it's gonna get better, you know. It's getting better, yeah.
The progression of Back to Basics has been amazing.
Yeah.
And just to be a part of it, to me, it's a real, again, an honor and a blessing, right?
Definitely,
it's fantastic.
Definitely.
DJ Lala, thank you for spending time with us. It was good to catch up to you. I'm glad you're still killing it, still doing it, and still representing hip hop in a positive light. So thank you again for doing that for the culture.
Thank you for having me.
DJ Lala, everyone. Koncept Universal, Back to Basics. Peace.